The door slammed shut behind Ariella as she stepped into our living room, her suitcase thudding against the hardwood floor like a final verdict. My father had insisted she stay with us after her messy divorce, calling her his old college buddy, who needed a fresh start in Seattle. But that first night, as I handed her a cup of tea in the dim kitchen light, her fingers brushed mine, lingering just a second too long, and in that electric pause, I felt my carefully constructed life crack open. Ariana, that's me, had always been the dutiful daughter, the one who followed the rules etched into our family's conservative blueprint. At 22, fresh out of college with a degree in psychology that I wasn't even sure I wanted, I was living at home to save money while job hunting. My parents, devout Catholics with roots in a tight-knit community, expected me to date nice boys from church, settle down, and continue the legacy. But deep inside, I'd always known something was off, like a puzzle piece forced into the wrong spot. I dated a few guys in high school, but it felt performative, empty. I'd push those thoughts away, telling myself it was just a phase, that I'd grow out of it. Ariella was everything I wasn't. Bold, unapologetic, a successful lawyer in her mid-30s who just left a marriage that, from what my dad said, had been suffocating her for years. She had this way of looking at you like she could see through the facade, and it terrified me. That night, after everyone else had gone to bed, she found me on the back porch, staring at the stars. "Can't sleep?" she asked, her voice smooth like velvet. I nodded, my heart pounding for reasons I couldn't name. We talked for hours about her ex-husband, about my stalled dreams, about how society boxes us in. Her words wrapped around me, pulling at threads I'd buried deep. By dawn, as the first light crept in, she leaned in and whispered, "You're more than what they expect, Ariana." And just like that, the air shifted. The next morning, guilt hit me like a freight train. What was I doing? This was my father's friend, someone trusted in our home. I avoided her all day, burying myself in job applications, but my mind replayed that conversation on loop. Was it just friendship? Or was there something more, something forbidden that I'd never admitted to myself? My mother noticed my distraction at dinner, her sharp eyes narrowing. "You seem off, honey. Everything okay?" I forced a smile, nodding too quickly. "Just tired." But inside, turmoil brewed. Ariella caught my eye across the table, a small smile playing on her lips, and I felt exposed, raw. As days turned into a week, Ariella integrated into our routine seamlessly, helping with chores, sharing stories from her travels. But with me, it was different: stolen glances, late-night talks that delved deeper each time. One evening, while my parents were at a church event, we ended up in the living room watching an old movie. Halfway through, her hand found mine on the couch. I froze but didn't pull away. "Ariana," she said softly, "have you ever felt like you're living someone else's life?" Her question pierced me. Yes, every day. But saying it aloud would make it real. I turned to her, our faces inches apart, and in that moment the dam broke. She kissed me, gentle, tentative at first, then with a depth that unraveled me. It was like waking up from a long sleep. But as soon as it ended, panic surged. What had I done? This wasn't just a kiss. It was a betrayal of everything I knew. I bolted to my room, locking the door, my mind racing. How could I face my family? My father adored Ariella like a sister. My mother would see this as a sin. And me? I'd always pushed down these feelings, convinced they were wrong, influenced by sermons and sideways glances from relatives. But that kiss, it felt right, achingly so. Yet the cost loomed large: rejection, isolation, the shattering of our family unit. I paced, tears streaming, whispering to myself, "This can't happen. It has to stop." But even as I said it, doubt crept in. Was stopping it the right choice, or just the safe one? The following days were torture. I avoided Ariella, making excuses, but she didn't push. Instead, she gave me space. Her eyes filled with understanding that only deepened my confusion. At night, I'd lie awake, replaying the kiss, questioning my identity. Was I gay? The word felt foreign, loaded with the prejudices I'd grown up around. My community whispered about those people, and my parents echoed it subtly. God has a plan, they'd say. But what if this was part of it? The internal war raged. Desire versus duty, self versus society. One afternoon, while alone in the house, Ariella confronted me gently in the kitchen. "We need to talk," she said. I nodded, my throat tight. That kiss. It was a mistake. I blurted, but my voice wavered. She stepped closer, her expression pained. Was it? Or are you scared? Her words hit home. Scared? Terrified. Of losing my family, of being labeled, of the unknown. But as she reached for my hand, I didn't resist. We really talked about her own coming out in her 20s, the friends she lost, the freedom she gained. It was intoxicating, this glimpse of authenticity. Yet, as we parted, I felt the weight of impending doom. How long could we hide? My father started noticing the tension. You two getting along? He asked one evening. I mumbled yes, but inside guilt gnawed. Ariella was his friend. I was his daughter. This felt like a double betrayal. That night I confided in my journal, pouring out the chaos. The thrill of her touch, the fear of exposure. What if they find out? What then? The questions looped endlessly. As the week ended, a family dinner loomed, my aunt and uncle visiting. I dreaded it, knowing their conservative views. Ariella suggested we cool things, but her eyes said otherwise. In the quiet moments our connection deepened, unspoken but palpable. I was torn, standing at a crossroads. Embrace this truth or bury it forever. The choice simmered, threatening to boil over. The family dinner was a powder keg, disguised as pot roast and polite conversation. My Aunt Rita, ever the inquisitor, fixed her gaze on Ariella. So dear, what brings you to our neck of the woods? Escaping that nasty divorce. Ariella handled it gracefully, deflecting with humor, but I could see the strain in her smile. Under the table, her foot brushed mine accidentally, or was it? Sending a jolt through me. I pulled away, heart hammering, terrified someone would notice. Inside, the conflict intensified. Every glance from my parents felt like scrutiny. Ariana's been quiet lately, my mother noted, passing the salad. I forced chatter about job prospects, but my mind was elsewhere. Ariella's presence was a magnet, drawing me in despite the risks. After dinner, as we cleared plates, she whispered, "Meet me later?" I hesitated but nodded. The pull was too strong. That night, in the guest room, we stole moments. No kisses, I insisted, just words. She shared her story. Married young to please her family, ignoring her attractions to women. I paid dearly, she said, voice cracking. Lost years, lost myself. Her pain mirrored my fears. But you, she added, you have a chance to choose differently. Choose. It felt like choosing between air and water. My family was my anchor. This feeling my storm. The next day, doubt escalated. I attended church with my parents, the sermon's words on traditional values stabbing like knives. Sin tempts us all, the priest intoned. Was I sinning? Or was love in any form divine? I knelt, praying for clarity, but none came. Instead, images of Ariella flooded my mind, her laugh, her strength. Back home, I confronted her. This is wrong. You're my dad's friend. She sighed. Age labels their excuses. What's real is how we feel. Her logic pierced, but so did the ethics. Was I using her as an escape? Or was this genuine? Midweek, a job interview offered distraction. I aced it, a counseling position at a local clinic, but celebration felt hollow. My father beamed, hugging me. Proud of you, kiddo. Guilt twisted deeper. He trusted Ariella. Trusted me. Betraying that trust gnawed at me. That evening, alone with her, emotions overflowed. I can't do this, I said, tears flowing. She held me, not pushing, just comforting. But her embrace ignited sparks I couldn't ignore. We pulled apart, breathless, the line blurring again. Society's weight pressed in. Friends from church texted about a group date. I declined, fabricating excuses. What would they say if they knew? Whispers, exclusion. I'd seen it with a distant cousin who came out. Pray the gay away, they joked cruelly. Was that my future? The thought chilled me. Yet, suppressing it felt like dying slowly. Ariella urged therapy, but I resisted. Admitting it meant accepting it. A turning point came Thursday. My mother found us laughing in the kitchen, too close. What's going on here? She asked sharply. We stammered denials, but her suspicion lingered. Later in my room, panic set in. If she tells Dad, I muttered to myself. Ariella slipped in, risking everything. We have to be careful, she whispered. But careful? This was a minefield. Our talks turned intense. Her regrets, my fears. Leaving my husband was hard, she said. But staying would have killed my soul. Her words resonated. Was I killing mine by denying this? Friday brought confrontation. My father announced a weekend trip for him and Mom, leaving us alone. Trust you girls to hold the fort. His words were daggers. Alone, tension skyrocketed. We cooked dinner. Conversation laced with unspoken desire. After on the couch, she kissed me again, deeper, more urgent. I reciprocated, lost in the moment but pulled back. What if this ruins everything? She cupped my face. What if it saves you? The question haunted me. That night, insomnia gripped me. Pros and cons warred. Love versus loyalty, freedom versus family. Ariella's story inspired but terrified. She'd lost her parents' support initially. Could I bear that? Dawn broke with no answers, only resolve to tread carefully. But secrets have a way of unraveling. By Saturday, we ventured out a friendly hike in the mountains. Away from home, barriers crumbled. We talked dreams. Her opening a pro bono firm for LGBTQ rights, my helping troubled youth. Similarities bonded us. At a viewpoint, she took my hand. This feels right. Did but morality nagged. Was pursuing this selfish? Or essential? The hike back was silent, heavy with implications. Returning home, a voicemail from my mother. Miss you already. Be good. Be good. What did that mean? I deleted it, guilt surging. Ariella noticed. You can't live in fear forever. But fear was my companion. As evening fell, we shared wine, boundaries blurring. No lines crossed physically, but emotionally we were entangled. I confessed my church doubts. She shared her agnostic views. Clashes emerged, her liberalism versus my upbringing, but attraction bridged them. Sunday morning, reality crashed. My parents returned early, catching us mid-conversation, too intimate. My father's brow furrowed. Everything okay? We nodded, but the seed of doubt was planted. Inside I crumbled. How much longer could this last? The weekend had heightened everything. Connection, conflict, the looming fallout. Choices loomed, each with a price. The suspicion festered like an open wound. My mother pulled me aside Monday morning. Ariana, is there something between you and Ariella? You seem close. Her tone was laced with concern, but undertones of disapproval. I denied it vehemently, my voice shaking. Just friends, Mom. She nodded, unconvinced, and the lie burned in my throat. Inside, self-loathing brewed. How had I become this deceptive, divided? Ariella sensed the shift. We need to talk about us, she said that afternoon while my parents were out. Us? The word thrilled and terrified. We sat in the garden, words tumbling. I care about you deeply, she admitted. But I won't pressure you. Her maturity clashed with my chaos. What if we get caught? Dad would never forgive. She sighed. Forgiveness comes with time or not at all. But living authentically, that's worth the risk. Worth it? To her, maybe. To me, it felt like gambling my world. That evening, family game night amplified the tension. Laughter felt forced. Every interaction scrutinized. My uncle called, inviting us to a barbecue. Bring that friend of yours, Ariella. My father agreed enthusiastically. Panic rose. More eyes, more chances for slips. In bed, I wrestled with ethics. Was loving her immoral? Society said yes, my heart screamed no. The moral gray ate at me. Tuesday, work started. My new job at the clinic. Counseling others on their issues while ignoring mine was ironic. A client shared her coming out story, the rejection she faced. It mirrored my fears, stirring empathy and dread. After I met Ariella for coffee downtown away from home. How was day one? She asked, her smile warming me. We talked shop, her cases, my clients, but undercurrents pulled. I miss you when we're apart, she confessed. Miss me? It was mutual, dangerously so. Back home, my father's comment hit hard. Ariella's been a godsend, helping you open up. Open up? If only he knew. Guilt compounded. That night, we argued softly in her room. This is tearing me apart, I said. Then choose, she replied gently. Me or the status quo? Choose. It wasn't that simple. Family bonds versus personal truth, a Sophie's choice. Wednesday brought betrayal's sting. I overheard my mother on the phone. Ariella's great, but Ariana's acting strange around her. To whom? My aunt, no doubt. Paranoia set in. Was exposure imminent? I confronted Ariella. They're suspecting. She nodded. Maybe it's time to tell them. Tell them? The thought paralyzed me. I can't. Not yet. Her patience waned. Hiding hurts us both. True, but revealing could destroy. The barbecue loomed Saturday. Preparations heightened anxiety. Shopping with Mom, she probed. Any boys catching your eye? I deflected, but inside resentment built. Why couldn't she accept me as is? Ariella helped cook, our hands brushing, sparking forbidden fire. My father noticed nothing, but Mom's eyes darted. During the event, amid relatives, tension peaked. Uncle Joe joked about finding me a husband. Laughter ensued. I forced a smile, dying inside. Ariella squeezed my knee under the table. Comfort or risk? Post-barbecue, cleanup was silent warfare. Mom cornered me. Be careful with Ariella. She's older, experienced. Implication clear, predator. Anger flared. She's a friend. But was she? More, so much more. That night, alone with Ariella, emotions erupted. They think you're influencing me badly. She laughed bitterly. Society always blames the other. Her words rang true, fueling my awakening. Sunday church was hell. The sermon on family purity felt targeted. I skipped communion, guilt overwhelming. After, my parents discussed community gossip. A neighbor's daughter straying. Such a shame, Mom said. Straying? Like me? The hypocrisy stung. Home, I sought Ariella. I can't pretend anymore. We embraced, tears mixing. But footsteps approached Dad. We separated just in time. Close call. Monday, work provided escape, but a colleague's pride flag pin triggered thoughts. Proud ally, she asked. I nodded weakly. Inside, envy. Her openness. Evening, Ariella proposed a plan. Date secretly, test waters. Until you're ready. Ready? Never, perhaps. But agreeing felt like progress or delusion. Tuesday night, crisis hit. My journal with confessions went missing. Panic. Who took it? Mom. I searched frantically. Ariella helped, calming me. If they find it, we'll face it together. Together? Appealing but terrifying. Found it under my bed, false alarm, but the scare amplified fears. This can't go on, I whispered. She held me. Then end it or own it. The ultimatum hung heavy. Wednesday, a client outed herself to family, facing backlash. Her story echoed mine, pushing reflection. Was silence complicity in my own oppression? Ariella's influence grew, her stories of advocacy inspired. But musing turned to action. I researched LGBTQ support groups online, heart racing. A step toward acceptance? Or betrayal of roots? Thursday, parents announced a family meeting. About Ariella staying longer. My stomach dropped. Extension? More time for disaster. During Dad praised her. Mom hesitated. She's welcome, but boundaries. Boundaries? Code for suspicion. After Ariella and I debriefed. They're onto us. She nodded. Time's up. Pressure mounted. Choices crystallizing. The high wire act teetered, ready to snap. The family meeting's aftermath was a storm brewing. Friday morning, my father pulled Ariella aside for a chat. I eavesdropped, heart in throat. You've been great for Ariana, he said. She's blooming. Blooming? Into what? Relief mixed with irony. But Mom's silence spoke volumes. Inside, I questioned everything. Was our connection worth the deception? The moral quandary deepened. Love shouldn't require lies. Yet here we were. That afternoon, we escaped to a park, seeking solace. What now? I asked. Ariella's eyes softened. We could leave, start fresh. Leave? Abandon family? Unthinkable. They're my everything. She nodded. But are you theirs if they can't accept you? Her point struck deep. Acceptance conditional or unconditional? The debate raged internally. Evening brought confrontation. Mom found a note from Ariella in my room, innocent but damning. Explain this, she demanded, waving it. Just a reminder, I lied. Her disbelief was palpable. Ariana, if there's something unnatural. Unnatural? The word ignited fury. What if there is? I snapped, regretting instantly. Silence fell heavy. She left, tears in eyes. Damage done. Night fell with recriminations. Ariella comforted. You stood up. But at what cost? Mom's pain mirrored mine. Dad, oblivious, chatted amiably. The divide widened. In bed, thoughts swirled, betrayal's price. Had I traded family harmony for personal gain? Ethics blurred. Saturday, tension exploded. At breakfast, Mom announced, "Ariella, maybe it's time you found your own place." Blunt cutting. Dad protested. "Why?" Mom glanced at me. Intuition. Ariella's face paled. "If that's what you want." But her eyes met mine. Accusation? Hurt? I intervened. "She's done nothing wrong." Mom's retort. "It's about you, Ariana." The room froze. Dad demanded explanation. Mom hesitated then. "I think there's more between them." Chaos ensued. Dad's shock. "What?" I denied weakly, but tears betrayed. Ariella stepped in. "It's true. We have feelings." Bold, devastating. Dad's face crumpled. "My friend? My daughter." Betrayal raw. He stormed out. Mom wept. "How could you?" I collapsed, sobbing. "I didn't choose this." But had I? The revelation's fallout was immediate. Shattering. Aftermath, silence thick as fog. Dad returned furious. "Ariella, pack your things." She complied, eyes on me. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Sorry. For what? Loving me? Or the destruction?" As she left, part of me went with her. Alone with parents, interrogation began. "How long?" Dad demanded. "Is this a phase?" Mom added. I defended. "It's real." But their disappointment crushed. "We raised you better," Dad said. Better? According to whom? Sunday, isolation set in. No church, too ashamed. Friends texted. I ignored. Work loomed Monday, but focus eluded. Ariella called. "Meet me." I agreed, desperate. At a cafe we dissected. "Your family will come around," she hoped. But doubt lingered. Or not. Her own losses flashed, parents estranged initially. "It hurts, but you survive." Survive? I wanted to thrive. Monday, work was a blur. Client stories paled against mine. Home, parents' coldness stung. Dinner silent. Dad broke it. "We love you, but this. It's wrong." Wrong? Based on what scripture? Tradition? I challenged. "Love isn't wrong." Argument escalated. Mom. "Society won't accept." Society? Screw that. But their pain halted me. Was forcing acceptance selfish? Tuesday, Ariella found an apartment. "Come visit." Tempting but risky. Parents monitored. Inside, rebellion stirred. Research intensified, coming out resources, therapy. A call to a hotline. It's okay to be you. Cathartic. But applying it? Daunting. Wednesday, a letter from Ariella. "I love you. Choose happiness." Love? First time said. Elation mixed with terror. Show parents? No. Hid it, secrets persisting. Work, a LGBTQ client shared triumph. Inspiration. Home, I broached. "Can we talk?" Parents agreed warily. "I need you to understand." Explanations flowed. Feelings long suppressed, Ariella's role. Dad listened. Mom resisted. Pray on it. Prayer? I tried. Progress? Minimal. Thursday, escalation. Aunt Rita called, informed by Mom. "This phase will pass." Phase? Minimizing infuriated. I hung up. Family rift widened. Ariella's support. Texts, calls. "You're brave." Brave? Or foolish? The trade-off. Love gained, family strained. Worth it? Debatable. Friday, decision time. Parents suggested counseling. Fix me. Offensive. I don't need fixing. Standoff. Ariella offered haven. Move in. Monumental. Leaving home? Heartbreaking. But staying suffocating. The choice. Self-preservation versus familial duty. Agony. Weekend loomed with uncertainty. Saturday, packing subtly. Parents noticed. "Where are you going?" Confrontation peaked. To Ariella's. Gasps. Dad. "Don't." Mom. "Think of us." I was in myself. Tears, hugs rejected. Departure. Painful, liberating. The door closed, echoing finality. Settling into Ariella's apartment was a whirlwind of freedom and regret. The space was small, but ours, no prying eyes, no judgments. Yet, Every quiet moment, I missed home's familiarity. It'll get better, Ariella assured, holding me. But doubt whispered, had I chosen wrongly? The moral weight pressed. Abandoning family for love, heroic or selfish? First week adjustment hit hard. Work stabilized me, clients' resilience mirroring mine. A session with a teen questioning identity. Family disowns but you rebuild. Rebuild? I was trying. Calls home went unanswered. Texts ignored. Isolation stung. Ariella's network helped LGBTQ meetups. Stories shared. Rejections, reconciliations. Hope flickered. Second week a breakthrough. Dad texted. We miss you. Miss me? Or the old me? Replied cautiously. Meeting arranged, neutral ground, coffee shop. Nerves frayed. Arrival. Parents aged overnight.
Hugues tentative.
Why? Dad asked. Explanations repeated. Innate, not choice. Mom. Church says. I interrupted. Church isn't everything. Debate civil but unresolved. Departure progress? Maybe. Ariella celebrated. Step 1. But caution advised. They need time. Time? I'd given years suppressing. Internal conflict persisted. Was pushing them fair? Or necessary? Society's role loomed, media portrayals, laws evolving, but prejudices lingered. A coworker's slur reminded. Not safe everywhere. Month 1 routine formed. Dates with Ariella. Movies, walks. Joy genuine but guilt shadowed. Aunt's email. Come back, repent. Repent? For what happiness? Deleted but words lingered. Therapy started unpacking upbringing identities. You're valid, therapist affirmed. Valid? Empowering. Challenges mounted. Work promotion offered. Accepted. Pride mixed with longing to share with parents. Called mom voicemail. Persistence paid, she answered. How are you? Small talk led to depth. I don't understand but I love you. Love? Conditional before, now? Tentative bridge. Ariella's ex contacted, amicable, but reminder of her past. Jealousy flared briefly. I've chosen you, she reassured. Chosen. Mutual. But her sacrifices. Friendship with Dad strained. Worth it, she said. Was it? For her, yes. For me, evolving. 6 weeks in, family dinner invite. Hesitant acceptance. Arrival tense. Dad's handshake firm, Mom's hug warmer. Ariella included? No. Baby steps. Conversation skirted issues, focusing neutral. Departure hope, but inside resentment. Why exclude her? Months passed, awakening deepened. Advocacy joined. Volunteering at Pride events. Empowerment surged. Parents attended one session, awkward but present. Growth? Yes, Dad admitted. I was wrong to react harshly. Apology. Healing. Mom struggled but tried. Yet scars remained. Lost friends, judgmental stares. Society's toll real. Ariella's firm thrived. My counseling specialized in LGBTQ youth. Purpose found. But reflections haunted. The initial betrayal, the pain inflicted. Necessary evil? Or avoidable? A year later, equilibrium. Family gatherings included Ariella, uneasy truce. Love blossomed openly. But questions lingered. Did I pay too high a price? Or was the gain immeasurable? The journey. Conflicts, choices, consequences. Awakening came at cost, but truth prevailed. In the end, as I looked back on the shattered illusions and rebuilt bonds, one quandary remained. Was sacrificing family harmony for personal authenticity the right choice? Or a selfish act that forever altered lives?